Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at BTC against its USDT pair. If we jump here into the price action, we can see that we've had this sell-off from this high point here, which seems to be a zigzag to the downside, which is a three-wave move, and then this move to the upside here. It doesn't have very good structure in the first part, so I'm a little bit skeptical of it, but we could be looking at a five-wave move shown like this, so that would be into this point probably, and then up into there. So now off the back of this, what we have is an additional five-way move to the downside here. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into this point here. Basically, we'd be looking at this as a wave to the downside, looking for a B wave to the upside, and then looking for progression to the downside again. So we can see that the 1 hour stochastic, the 4 hour, well, the 1 hour is overbought, the 4 hour's got a little bit of room to still, and the 8 hour also still has room. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But I do think if we measure this off here, from this low point up to there, it is possible we got a little bit left in the tank. We could come up to test the 17,212 at a 1-to-1. Actually, let me drop this on here. 17,215 at a 1-to-1. So I'm just going to drop a line on here, and that is over there. And we'll measure this from the top. Oh, that's not what we wanted to do. Here we go. Have a look at this move from the top end here, and how does this? That ends up being right on this 50% zone. So it's possible that we could see a move up to this 50% zone. It is also possible we don't get up there and it starts to fall off from this point. So we'll just have to see, but I think this is a good idea for a target that we could look to. So from that move there, basically what we'd be looking for is evidence that we have this as a 1-to-1. I've had it marked up previously, but I'll just double check it. So off that 50%, we could look to have an additional five-way move to the downside here, and that would take us towards the 16,922. So this is an interesting area because also we could fall short and potentially look to find support on this channel again, or we could just sort of break through it and then come back into it if it's going to look for progression to the upside, which we'll go over in a second. Though we need to be mindful, we need to stay above this 16,745. Otherwise, what we would then be looking at is a deeper move to the downside, and this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. So potentially looking to target out, depending on how far exactly this third wave comes past this typical impulsive trigger area, we could, or typical third wave area rather. Basically, what we could be looking for is a move down here into the 16,626 area to the 16,696 area. That would then give us a completed five-wave move to the downside should this play out. And then we would have to treat this as, instead of this move here being a five-wave move, we would have to then treat it as an A, a B, up into these highs, and a C wave to the downside. This would then take out this low here, which would confirm that this is not a five-wave move. But until that happens, we have to just treat it as such. Basically, if we find support here, we could be looking for a bigger move to the upside, and we're going to go over that in a second. So if we do break this low here, either this is going to be a B, C. Actually, let me put the five-way back on there. So if I just mark this up like this. Basically, what we could be looking at here is just a bigger A, B, C. It's already marked here. A, B, and a C down into this zone. So that could be a completed corrective move. Alternatively, we could look to see that this is an A wave. We move up the back again in a B wave. Look to maybe test some of these zones again, and then get further rejection down into this B wave zone here. So that's anywhere between the 16,417 area all the way down to this 15,738 area. The more common areas between these 2 points here, this 15,864 area to this top area of 16,417. So potentially we could look to move down and look to target out this 618 or this 50% zone. Those are very common areas. And if that's the case, then we could be looking at this as a bigger corrective move down here. Now, if that does play out, we have a few options. For as long as we stay above this 15,995 area and this 15,476 area, basically we can still look at some potential bullish options within this move that it could look to develop into a bigger move to the upside here, though we just need to bear in mind that currently the daily is still up here in this overbought zone on the stochastic. So we just want to be aware that we could see some continued sell-off to the downside. Breaking down below this 15476 area would invalidate all bullish potential that we have so far that we're going to talk about in a second. So if I just if I remove some of the stuff off the chart here and just clear it up a little bit, actually I can leave that on there. So if we go to the object tree here, let's get rid of that object tree. If we jump on and turn this ABC on, so there is another way of looking at this move where we have this as a 5-wave move. This is just one of the options I'm keeping a track on, and basically both of these two options I'm going to be talking about rely on holding this current 16,678. I apologize for the numbers. Okay, basically, as long as we hold that area, we could be looking for some continuation to the upside. And what we'd be looking for here is the fact of having this C wave looking to potentially at a 1-to-1 target, looking to move up to this 18,780. But like I said, given the current state of the stochastics, I'm being very wary that we don't have to form a bigger retracement to the downside here before we look for upside potential. Or it could also potentially look to break down from this point, and that we have but confirmation for the breakdown would only come really by breaking below this 15,995 and this 15,476. We would probably know before then by the structure that starts to form. It could give us an indication, like a early warning, that we could be heading downwards some more. But basically, until that point, we would be looking for, until we lose these points, we have to keep an eye on these bullish potentials. So what we'd be looking for here, and actually so this is much the same for this ABC option and also the bullish breakout. So let me turn this off, so if we look at this move here as a 1, we could, and let me move this over so it's more visible there. So if we were looking for the bullish breakout potential or the C wave developing as a 5-wave move in a bigger ABC, what we'd be looking at this as a wave 1. We'd be looking for this retracement to come down and target out the 17,000 area to the 16,800 area, and basically looking at that for potential of a 1 and a 2. Like I said before, crossing the 16,744 area would invalidate this potential because we would look to take this low out here. And if we do find support in this region, potentially hold this channel line, we see the stochastics come down nicely. Slowly, it slowly moves down here, brings those stochastics right down. Then the typical wave 3 travel would be up here at this 18,000 area. And if we did see a bigger 5-wave move to the upside here to develop, we'd be then looking for an additional 4th and a 5th wave up. And basically, this could look to push up as high as this 18,358 to 18,181. Once again, we could look to extend this and test this trend line again before getting rejected, or we could just find a resistance on this bottom 50% line, which is this 18,222. So that's the potential bullish breakout that I'm following, but I don't think that this corrective move to the downside is completed. Another thing that I just want to touch on quickly is there is another way of reading this, and if I just turn this back off, so we could argue that we have a diagonal within this move here. There's a leading diagonal where we have 5, 5, and 5 in our motive waves. We have the overlap here, so and basically it doesn't break the rules. So we could be looking at the potential that we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this location, and we're looking for this deeper retracement. So most of these options are looking for either we're going to hold this line and move to the upside, or we're going to come down and test this zone here before looking for some more upside potential. That's basically the gist about it. If we start to lose these low points of this 15,995 and this 15,476, then it is likely we're already moving down in the next leg of this drop, which we went over in yesterday's video. So if you'd like to see more about that, please hit that video up and you'll find a bit more information in there. Haven't ruled out the potential for a triangle, though currently this structure here isn't really making me confident that we could see a triangle develop here. The only way it would still be valid is if this is an A wave, a B wave, and then we start to form some kind of a complex D wave, looking to drop down into the lower range of this trend line's only confirmed by the D wave low point, so we just have to bear that in mind. It could be lower down here, it could be higher up here. It would just we'd need more time for the D wave to develop should this play out. Invalidation of how it is currently marked, though, would come by dropping once again below this 15,476 and moving above this 17,424 area. For as long as we remain within this range, we need to track the potential that this could develop. There's a lot more things that we keep a track of in the Discord, and if you'd like to have a look, the link is in the description. And it could potentially be a good it could be something that I'm looking at doing when if we do get some of these moves to the downside, either if we find support on this trend line here, or if we look to move deeper into this zone here as a B wave retracement and we start to get the stochastics in a good position, there is potential we could start to look for some bullish trades, which is what I'm thinking of doing. Basically, not financial advice, but it could be interesting zone, especially if we start to target out this 618 area, anywhere between this and this 786 area, which is this 15,864 area. If we retrace down into these zones and we start getting our stochastics and everything in a good position, it could be meaning that we are setting up for a bigger move to the upside here, looking potentially to target up these zones here. So it could be a potential trade opportunity, which I would be looking at. And if I'm going to do it, it'll be on BYBIT. This is really one of the best exchanges for trading, in my opinion. It's the one that we all use. So once again, if you'd like to support the channel, there's an affiliate link down below. If you'd like to use it, why not use it? Helps us out, helps you out, and yeah, if not, that's also okay. So I just want to say thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video and you haven't already, please hit that like and that subscribe button. This really helps us out. I hope everyone has a great day, and until we meet in the next video, keep safe out there, everyone.